Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I forgot to fill my coffee back up before starting this video. We're going to make it through it anyway. I did add this to my profile. This is that picture Brad Garlinghouse said he had in his house. Laugh now, but one day XRP will power the world. I believe that. Why? So why not pin it to my profile? Ashley Prosper, the Zakanoff case has been referred to a magistrate judge for settlement. Right here, June 24th, 2024, case referred to magistrate judge for settlement. I mean, I guess that means that case is, for all intents and purposes, over. Looks like Donald Trump may speak at the Bitcoin convention. I think that's Bitcoin Nashville now, and it's in July. That's the same one that they used to have in Miami. I went to that a couple of times. But Bitcoin Nashville, which I'm too busy to go to Bitcoin Nashville, but Trump may go there. Now, speaking of Trump, Ryan Selkis, who is a big Trump supporter because he is a one-issue voter and Trump is the pro-crypto presidential candidate, Ryan Selkis is doing his rounds and doing some video interviews, and this is from a video interview he did yesterday. It's worth hearing every word. This guy's got a 200-page dossier on Gary Gensler, you know, the guy who signed off on the Russian dossier. Wait till you see this. He makes this statement. He's the most corrupt person in the U.S. government. This guy has some guts. Watch this.
Cleverness on behalf of the crypto industry is you guys have found one in the executive branch as well, Gary Gensler. Who is Gary Gensler, and why is he Satan?
How much tape do you have?
Plenty.
I have on my desk a 200-page Oppo research pack, literally 200-page Oppo research pack on Chair Gensler, and it's a year old, so you could probably add another 200 pages just based on his behavior in the last year. Everything that the SEC has done under his guidance with respect to the crypto industry has been in bad faith, challenged in the courts, and successfully overturned. Just doublespeak, out of control, side door rulemaking, anything that they can do to possibly cripple the growth and trajectory of the industry and essentially punish anyone that dissents. They've gone after Kraken, they've gone after Coinbase, they've gone after every single one of the biggest players in the industry. The only one that they didn't go after, of course, was FTX. They missed that one. Oops. So I mean, he's incompetent. He's corrupt. He was Rep. Byron Donalds actually brought this up in one of the oversight hearings. But he was the campaign CFO for Hillary Clinton that wrote the checks for the Steele dossier that they basically were fined for and got a slap on the wrist. Essentially the same election fraud that we just saw the sham trial about in New York, but a much more egregious version of it because they actually funded the Steele dossier, which was just
an order of crime that would ban you from running money on Wall Street, but he regulates all of it now.
But now suddenly, the most detail-oriented, notoriously vindictive person in the U.S. regulatory sphere just suddenly has a fuzzy memory as to whether he signed off on that check. I'm skeptical. So for a while, I've been outspoken about how horrible he is since 2021, and that's not a very popular position to be in if you're an operating CEO. You're supposed to be a little bit more diplomatic. You're supposed to be respectful, and I am when people are operating in good faith. I always try to be.
Yeah, you said
even when I disagree. Yeah, I said, well, I see I'm getting better in my old age because I used to call him Golden Gary, and it stuck for a while, but now I've deferred to Chair Gensler. I think he's just done a tremendous disservice to the SEC. Again, the nature of my business, we should be almost best friends with the SEC.
Yeah.
We're building tools that
you're trying to
actually help them
and regularize the industry.
Building tools that will actually help them fulfill their mandate to protect investors, ensure the markets are fair and efficient, and promote capital formation. That's my mission. Like that's my company. That's our team's mission. But the difference is we are operating in good faith. They are operating in bad faith, and it's really it's come at the behest of Liz Warren's political priorities to centralize control and oversight of all financial transactions, and Chair Gensler's just insatiable quest for power to become Treasury Secretary, which, if I can pat myself on the back for one thing,
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's never going to happen. And I'd like to think that I played at least a top 5 role in helping destroy his career. So I'm sure the SEC will at some point try to shank me on the way out. Because that's what they do. And I think he's the most corrupt person in the U.S. government, which is, that's a high bar in this administration, but I do believe it's true.
Wow. I believe it's true too. Here's another clip where he's talking about how he's been taking on some of the powerful guys in Silicon Valley who are trying to carry that same narrative.
They are the most powerful.
Or trying to protect the Gary Genslers in that party.
People in society, and they're trying to stifle dissent. And by the way, they're trying to stifle dissent for a community that they're on the wrong side of politically. So instead of engaging on the issue, what they will do is basically ignore how bad they are on this issue, ignore the fact that I might have to move my family offshore if I want to continue to participate in this industry in the way that I have in the past decade if Biden is reelected. And I just need to gloss over that and pretend that that isn't a factor. And by the way, if you don't do it, you're a racist, you're a misogynist, you don't care about the women on your team, you don't care about this, you're inciting people to violence.
Pretty pitiful. Now, check this out. The BRICS. China has become Saudi Arabia's largest oil customer, accounting for more than 20% of the kingdom's oil exports. And here's Charles Payne talking about the petrodollar.
Gold has come on dramatically. Now, it's taken a lot of share from the euro, but it's also taken share from the dollar.
That's right.
So, I mean, it definitely is. There's a lot of people who kind of like just dismiss this out of hand as like crazy talk and it's ridiculous. And those are the folks that always make me know it's going to happen because that's sort of arrogance, right? I mean, it's not ordained, and we're not doing the things that come with the sort of fiduciary responsibility of having the world's premier currency. So it's not gonna happen overnight, obviously. But the pieces, to your point, are being put in place. And the petrodollar, the development of the petrodollar was one of those things that cemented the dollar as the world's reserve currency. And so that does start to unwind. And we already know that Saudi Arabia does transactions in other currencies, particularly as they have a cozier relationship with China. So it really is amazing to me. I think India is something of the wild card here. The I in BRICS, the world's largest democracy. They just had a major election.
There's a lot going on in there. Check this out from Green Eggs and Sam. The Federal Reserve may have its dirty laundry aired tomorrow. I think this tweet was yesterday. Lockbit ransomware group announced a hack netting them 33 terabytes of juicy banking information containing Americans' banking secrets. Apparently they were offered $50,000. This could get interesting. And here is another very interesting thing. What part of the ransom from Lockbit 3.0 was to free Julian Assange? So that's like a theory going around, is maybe part of the ransom was you've got to free Julian Assange. But this could get really, really interesting. And by the way, yes, that did happen yesterday. Julian Assange is free. He left his maximum security prison and now he's back in Australia, and that's where he's from. So if you look right here, this is him on a plane with that's not his wife, I don't think, that's probably his attorney, but he's heading to his wife in Australia.
He's like maybe like $100 specifically or something like that, or up to that or
So folks, we're obviously living through a period of awakening and a transition of a financial system, and what we hope is the prevailing of good over evil. I'm going to show you the evil that some of the evil that Julian Assange uncovered in DAIXRP.com, because I couldn't talk about it out here because part of the evil is the censorship that we're going through. And so I'm going to show you some of the evils that he uncovered, and then I'm also going to show you a little bit more. Turns out my thought pattern about the petrodollar, and all of a sudden our government wants to show us videos from, that thing that happened back in 2000. I won't even say the year. Anyway, we'll talk about it in there too. I know I'll get censored out here about that because I have in the past. So we're going to talk about things I can't talk about out here. DAIXRP.com. Come join us. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. But away we go.